everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia Perez and I am an author. In this video I'm going to talk more about intermittent fasting because in the video I did last week I wasn't too specific and I think I might have confused people. So anyway, I'm going to talk about that. But also if you have any specific questions or anything you really want to know, just go ahead and comment on the video so I can answer those directly to you, and I won't, and everybody can see the answers. Because I'm sure if you have this, question, someone else probably has the same exact question. Okay, so intermittent fasting, there are different plans, but I'm going to just stick to one plan because I think that's the easiest plan for beginners, and for new people who have never done fasting before. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that plan, and probably in another video I'll talk about a different plan, for people who are more advanced and, when the body's already adjusted to fasting. So the plan that is good for beginners, it is called the 16-8 plan. And what that means, it is 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of an eating window. Okay, so when I say fasting, I mean nothing to eat or drink that will cause an insulin spike, which means pretty much anything. But the only thing you can drink is water, plain tea, or black coffee. Nothing with sugar, no milk or cream in your sugar, no sugar in your tea. You can have lemon with your water because lemon does not cause an insulin spike, but anything other than that is off limits. And nothing at all to eat, at all. You can eat ice if you eat ice, but that's about it. Nothing else other than that. So during your eating window, okay, so you have 8 hours to eat. That's actually a long time to eat. It's a lot of hours. So what I used to do when I started fasting, because I was starving by the time I ate, my window started. So I would bring fruit with me. I was big on strawberries and oranges, and I'm a home health nurse. So, if I don't bring something with me to eat, then I'm going to be stopping at the store to get junk food. So I was trying to avoid all of that. So I would bring strawberries and oranges. And what I would do, because what I realized early on is if you buy strawberries at the store, by the time you're ready to eat them in a few days, they're already starting to mold. So what I learned is if you wash the strawberries as soon as you buy them, so as soon as you get home, don't even put them in the fridge. Leave them on the counter. And then, once you're done putting everything up, rinse them, wash them, cut them up. And I would cut them in 4 pieces. And then I would put them in Ziploc bags. So I would have 5 Ziploc bags, strawberries that are ready for me for, every day of the week. So cut them up, put them in Ziploc bags and then put them in your fridge and then they're ready. So in the mornings, when I would get ready for work, I would just grab a bag, grab an orange, and I was good, for the day. So, and I would also take a pudding. I like vanilla pudding, so I would take a pudding with me also since those are low on calories. Usually I think one little cup of pudding is 100 calories or something. So I would take that. And the strawberries, I think those came out to 50 or 60 calories, and it was a pretty good size, baggie. So anyway, what I was doing in the beginning is I was tracking all of my meals, every single thing I put in my mouth, I was tracking with the Lose It app, which you can do that if you want to, but you don't really have to. I just did it because I was really into, tracking everything I ate. So I was tracking it on there. Also, I was using a fasting app. I don't remember what the app was called, but I don't use it anymore because it's really not needed. And it just stressed me out all day because I kept looking at it to see what hour I was on. I know what was happening to my body in that exact minute when it's really not needed. So if you're doing the 16-8 plan, okay, the best thing to do for me, because I do suffer from acid reflux and heartburn. So if I eat after 8, I won't be able to sleep because I will have, reflux and, I'll be uncomfortable all night. So what I was doing is I was stopping. My last meal wasn't, not even a meal. My last thing I ate was at 8 o'clock at night. So from 8 o'clock at night, I wouldn't eat anything. I would go to bed. If I was hungry, then I was hungry, so be it. So I would go to bed and then I wouldn't eat anything at all until the following day. What some people do is when they wake up in the morning, they crave coffee because they're used to coffee. So, they'll go ahead and drink the coffee, but black, because you can't have anything in it. I'm not a coffee drinker, which I think made it easier for me because I do not drink coffee at all. So when I would wake up, I would drink water, which is my drink of choice all the time. Once a week I'll splurge and I'll drink a Big Red, but for the most part, I drink water. So it's nothing after 8 o'clock at night. Okay, if you go to bed at midnight or at 1 and you're hungry, then you're going to be hungry. I went tonight a few times craving a freaking Twinkie when I don't even like Twinkies. That's the crazy thing. I was craving sugar. I was craving things that I don't normally even eat. But, I was craving sugar because I knew I couldn't have it. So from, 8 until bedtime, it's nothing to eat at all. Okay, the following day, depends, what time you get up. So, of course, do the math. So, 8 until 8 in the morning, that's 12 hours. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. My bad, I'm doing an 18 plan. Okay, so until noon, that's your 16 hours. So at noon is when I would have my first snack to break my fast, which for me, it was strawberries and oranges. So I would eat that at noon. And, if I was still hungry in an hour, I would, eat the pudding. And then that was it. When I got home, which is probably around 5, I would have my actual meal. I would have dinner, and I did not cut out anything. I would eat spaghetti. I would eat pizza. I would eat Wingstop, whatever I wanted. That's what I ate. So I didn't, cut anything out. I ate whatever I wanted. And then, of course I was full after that. And then, right around 7:55, like no joke, right around 7:55, I would eat my last thing for the day, which, was either a cookie, ice cream, chips, whatever I wanted. I would eat it, right at 7:55. So when 8 o'clock came, I was ready to start my fasting and I was done eating for the day. So that's what I was doing in the beginning. And, what I put in place early on, because I was drinking like Big Red every day. I was, eating candy and stuff like that. So I did kind of cut down on that. So what I was doing is once a week, I would allow myself to have a Big Red so I wouldn't crave it. And once a week, I would give myself a big dessert. And when I say a big dessert, I mean a big dessert. Like I was eating ice cream with chocolate syrup, whipped cream, with a, fresh warm cookie. It was a pretty big dessert. But I would only do that once a week. So the rest of the days, I wouldn't crave it because I already had it. So that's what I was doing in the beginning. And then within 3 months, I think it was like 2.5 to 3 months, I lost the weight that I wanted to lose and I was at my goal weight. When I started, I was at close to 160. And when I stopped, I was at 145. So actually, no, I was at 142. My goal was 145, but then I kept on going and I went down to 142. And that's when, I realized I had lost, some muscle tone. Of course, my butt shrank because I lost weight. My legs got skinnier. So that's when I started working out, doing different workouts to build, my muscle in my legs, my glutes, my arms, my shoulders, pretty much my whole body. I started working out to build muscle in those areas. So I continue to work out today and I continue to do fasting. On some days, like during the weekends, I'll shorten my window because usually on the weekends we'll go and eat dinner or we'll go and eat breakfast or something. So I don't really fast on those days, but I do limit my calorie intake. And the whole reason fasting works is by limiting your calorie intake because you're forced to only eat in an 8-hour window and not during the rest of the day. So, of course, that is going to lower your calorie intake and that will help you burn off fat. Once you reach 12 hours into your fasting window, that's when your body begins to go into fat burning mode. And you go into ketosis and you can actually taste it. Like you'll get like a metallic taste in your mouth And that's a good thing because that means that your body is currently burning fat, which is what we want. We want to melt that shit off, right? So what I was also doing is I had bought this sweat cream. I think it was called Sweet Sweat. I got it on Amazon, and I got a sweat, it wasn't a belt, it was a sweat vest. And I have two. One of them is sleeveless, and it's, just goes from like under the boobs down, to your pelvic area. And the other one has sleeves, or short sleeves, so it covers, the upper part of the arm. So I'd put that, Sweet Sweat on, and I would put the vest on when I would exercise. So that would melt off, extra belly fat, back fat, and even like pubic area fat. So all of that, melted off pretty much. So I continue to use that that vest. So anyway, with fasting, the goal is to lose weight, right? So once you get to your goal weight or close to your goal weight, that's when you can change up the window, because you're going to continue to lose even if you don't want to lose anymore. So you have to kind of manipulate the window to where it's going to work for your body. So like some days, I'll change the window up. I'll do like 10 hours of fasting, and the rest of the time my eating window is open. Some days, I'll be busy at work, so I'll fast 20 hours because I simply don't have the time to eat, and then my window will be, shorter. My eating window will be shorter. So you can manipulate the windows however you please, as long as the 16 hours of fasting are continuous hours of fasting. Nothing eaten in that time at all. But say you have, you're going to have lunch today, and, you want to open your window earlier, or you want to have breakfast and you want to have your window open at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's fine. It's your window. It's your body. So all you have to do is change up, close the window earlier, your eating window earlier, so you can have your fasting window open longer. You know what I mean? So like say right now it's 10. So say right now I'm just starving and I'm going to go and eat something. That's fine. But tonight I'm going to close my window 2 hours earlier than I normally would to accommodate, eating right now. So you can pretty much play with your windows however you want. The way that I did it worked for me because I have acid reflux and heartburn. So that's why I would close my window at 8 and I wouldn't eat anything after that. But if you don't have those problems and say you want to eat until midnight, that's fine. Eat until midnight. But then the next day, you have to close your eating window earlier so you can accommodate for staying up late. So you can kind of mess with your windows however you want, as long as you're fasting for 16 hours and your eating window is open for 8 hours. It can be whatever 16 hours you want and whatever 8 hours you want. So that is the plan that most people start with. So once you get, your body adjusts to the fasting and you're used to it, you can fast longer hours, like what I was doing. I was going up to 19, 20, sometimes even 21 hours. And I would get home, have my meal, eat as much as I freaking wanted. And then I would close my window and that was it until the following day. There are other plans, but those are kind of more advanced, and I never even used any of those plans because I just don't think I ever could. Like some plans are like, I think it's 5-2, which means 5 days. I think I would have to research this to make sure I'm even saying it right because I never did it. But I think 5 days you're able to eat like your normal meals, and then 2 days I'm reversed. So 5 days you're eating like a low calorie meals. So your calorie intake for those days are less. And then the following days, you can have like regular high calorie meals. I never did those because I just didn't think that would work for me. Because I don't know, I like eating my same foods. I like Mexican food, of course. I like pizza. I like lasagna. I like all of that stuff. So I didn't want to have to change any of my diet. So I didn't change any of my diet. I kept on eating whatever I was eating and I didn't change, anything. And it worked for me. And I'm sure it'll work for anyone, who gives it like a real shot. And if anybody has any questions, of course, you can comment on here. I will respond to you right away. Or of course you can message me. Most of the people watching this are probably my Facebook friends anyway. So of course you can message me and I can give you more details. And if you want to know like what kind of like workout vest I bought, I can tell you that too. I can, tell you what kind of cream I bought, or the cream I bought. Anyway, so in my next video, I'm going to go more into the actual workouts I was doing, because that is actually what saved me. And I cannot get the credit for that. That was my personal trainer, who got me set up with those workouts, set up my plan and all of that. So, I mean, she was the best. And also in the beginning, I'm not even lying, doing a squat, was hard. Like doing a lunge, I was like, oh my God, like my legs were just weak. And I didn't even realize they were that weak until I started working out. I even asked her in the beginning, I was like laughing. I told her like, man, do you have a plan for like the elderly? Because this is too hard for me. And, she said, just keep doing it. If you can only do 2 sets, that's fine. Do 2 sets. You will start getting stronger. When you get stronger, you'll be able to go up 2 more sets. So I did. I continued, and I'm so glad I did, because she was right. She is awesome. So if anybody wants her information, I can give it to you. I'm not sure if she's still doing it, to be honest, but of course I'll find out and I can let anybody know. So if anybody has any questions or needs anything, just give me a call, a message on here. And again, thank you for watching my video, and you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.